Hello and welcome to Will It Roll. We have some Japanese cars for you this week. There were many suggestions for cars to do, so I couldn't do all of them. I'm afraid we just don't have time. So this is the first one. There's loads and loads of suggestions on Skylines, various generations. I've gone for the R34 Skyline. This is my favourite of the lot. Can't really tell you why, to be honest. I'm going to be honest, I'm not a huge Japanese car fan. Most of you will know I'm a muscle car person. I can appreciate Japanese cars. I do quite like this R34 Skyline. It's quite a nice car to drive, I have to say. It's got, I've lost the notes, where we go, 327 horsepower, weighs 3,500 pounds, there or thereabouts. It's a nice car to drive. For a four-wheel drive car, I quite like it. And yeah, it's a pretty fun car to drive, I have to say. I was expecting this one here to be quite tricky to roll. I mean, it has got the speed, which is always good. It's a low A-class car, but it does look quite low and relatively wide. That was the first attempt there. Wasn't looking hugely promising. Now, with the speed, there are always some issues. That tyre bundle there that I'm just about to miss, there we go, I didn't hit it, is a real problem when we come from the other direction. The cars end up going so fast through that sort of corner that you can't get them stopped, especially when you're on two wheels. Now I should point out that this car here has not been modified at all. This is running all standard, as you see there. I get it on two wheels and then kind of slightly clip the wall, and now it's a rather sorry looking Skyline. The damage model on these Japanese cars, I have to say, is quite a lot more sophisticated than on, well, the muscle cars we had last week and now getting it stalled. Come on, we can get started. There we go. As you can see here, I mean, we hit the wall with some of the muscle cars at similar speeds and did nothing. On here, yeah, it's all bent and buckled and slightly broken. So it's a slightly sorry sight, this Skyline. But it was the next attempt, actually, that the Skyline rolled. And it's a pretty damn spectacular roll, that one. There. It nearly clipped, well, it did clip the top of the fence. And now it's hiding. That fence is the most annoying thing in my video making at the moment. It's just always in the way. It's like, probably none of you all know this, but like if you go to a zoo and you try to take pictures of animals and stuff, you know, you always got the fence in the way. Or in fact, if you go race meetings, in fact, you got like the catch fences and you're taking photos, and yeah, I hate that fence. Can we get rid of it, please? Anybody from Forza listening? Maybe? Can we remove that fence? It'd be great. Thank you all. Anyway, next car, we're moving on to the Toyota Supra. Again, it's another car I quite like. Not my favourite. There were lots of suggestions for Supras, so this is the one that I picked. Where statistics gone, 320 horsepower, not quite as powerful as the Skyline, only a little bit less. Weighs 3,300 pounds, so it is a little bit lighter. It's actually a lower PI, slightly. I think it's about 30 PI in it. This is a relatively high B-class car. Normally, as you know, we have to have a silly coloured car in every video. We try our best, and this purple is as silly as I could get for any of the cars from like the standard manufacturer colours. I know I could make it whatever I wanted with the sort of paint shop, but it's more fun to see what the manufacturers came with it. So yeah, it's kind of purple, kind of black. You can't really see it very well, but there we go. So it was to spend forever with this car. This is not an easy thing to roll. It is very low, very wide, and yeah, just doesn't really want to roll. It's also pretty quick. It's not really that much slower than that Skyline. As you can see through here, this is a real problem with this car, even more so than the Skyline, is that tyre bundle there. Because, yeah, you're going at some relatively sort of high speeds through there, and once you're up on two wheels, you have no steering and very little brakes. So, you know, you go through that section, and if you're going the sort of speeds that these cars do, you can't get it turned, and you hit the wall. I got away with it that time. So we're coming back for another attempt, and again, it's not really looking that promising. Pretty big slide though. Very nearly touched the wall there, like I did with the Skyline. I was getting some pretty big slides with these cars. It's a new style of drifting, right? You have to put it on two wheels in entry, and then let it slide. I don't think that's a proper form, but there we go. It's kind of cool. And there we go again. I don't even know why I included that one. You can see what this car was doing. This took quite a long time. It wasn't really being particularly cooperative, and here we go again. We're going to try from this angle. Is anything going to happen? No, we're going to go on two wheels and we're going to slightly smack the back of the car on the wall. Now again, when the camera moves around, you can see that this is actually doing quite a bit of damage to this car. If you look at that rear bumper, that's now just gone out of sight. My phone's going off. Well, that's professional of me. Hopefully you don't hear that. If you have a look at that bumper there, look how much it's sort of buckled in. We want this damage on every car. Please, like this sort of level of body deformation. Yes, there we go. That thing is kind of cool to see sort of more realistic damage. And again, yeah, that was the problem I was saying with the tyre wall. It's not nice. And then I may have broken the front a little bit. But never mind. We can still carry on with this. And then this was oh, I don't know how long I spent on this car, probably 10-15 minutes before I even started thinking about upgrades. You can see that it's just not going to go. It's too low, too wide, and then I smacked it in the wall. And yeah, now it's pretty badly damaged. If I can find reverse. Somewhere's reverse. There we go. Yeah, that's a little bit broken. So it's to the upgrade shop, because standard I don't think this thing will roll. And not here, unless you're very, very lucky and hit it just absolutely perfect. I don't think it will go. So it was to the upgrade shop. Now the parts that were put in it were just the suspension. I only raised the ride height. Okay, the suspension wasn't stiffened at all. It was just a raised ride height in this. And, well, yeah, it's still not particularly cooperative. That was a pretty big slide, I think, for my standards. This isn't an easy car. This was easily the longest one that took for film for this one. It's probably not quite the longest car we had, but pretty long. I may have slightly bashed the wall there and scraped along the side there. I guess if I'd stiffened the suspension, it probably would have been quicker. I'm trying to do this with the least sort of upgrading. And so we're going to go again, and there we go! It's rolled, and that's another pretty spectacular roll there from the Supra. Yes, I do know what this car is. And there we go. Now if I can get it to roll over. Forza's really awkward with trying to get cars to go back onto their wheels. This has done quite a lot of damage to this car. Unlike the normal things, it's just some slightly scratched paintwork and maybe a slightly bent bumper. It's a bit of a wreck. Much more so than a lot of cars on Forza. And I kind of like that. I like the more realistic damage. I mean, okay, admittedly, it's not hugely realistic. They're just going to do another camera shot, showing damage up a bit more. Yeah, I think that's probably a write-off. Because that is a pretty big mess. And we go on to our final car. There are loads of suggestions, or comments, whatever, requests for an RX-7. There are various different versions. And this is the one that I'm going to use. It is the first gear car. It is the Mazda RX-7 Spirit something. Spirit R? Spirit B? A? I don't know. Is it Spirit R Type A? I can't remember. There's some stuff after it. This is the unicorn car. I got this back in Forza 3 actually. I can't even remember how I got hold of it. But I have one of these, and it's in many of our videos. I don't actually think there's ever been driven in any. I'm trying to think. Apart from like the very second episode of First Gear, I think we may have driven it in that. But other than that, I don't think it's ever actually been driven in a video. It's just sort of been sort of parked. Statistics on this car: 280 horsepower, weighs 2,800 pounds, and it is a rotary. It's the first rotary we've ever had on Will It Roll, I think. Possibly, yes. I can't even remember. Anyway, on to business. We're actually rolling the thing. I was expecting this one to be a pretty hard car to roll. It's very low again, and it's also quite wide. However, I was quite surprised. That's sort of the third attempt, I think, there. It didn't look too far away from rolling. Now, have a guess. How much damage? Have we got to normal Japanese car levels, or is it back to... No, it's back to old Forza with a slight scratch on the paintwork. Oh, the damage in Forza is terrible. I'm sorry. I love the game, but damage isn't particularly special. And so, I was having that problem, actually. More so with this car than any other I've had recently. Kept missing the curb. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm going to blame that I was tired. Some racing driver excuses there. I don't know what. I missed the curb quite a lot. There's quite a few clips of me missing. Get it very sideways again through there. Maybe tag the wall a little bit. Did it do damage? Nah, it looks good. So yeah, this car didn't take particularly long to roll, actually. This was only sort of 5-10 minutes. And there we go. That is the third car rolled over. And I have to say, actually, this week, they've all been pretty spectacular rolls. There hasn't been anything... well, sort of mundane. They've all been lots of flips, and the skyline nearly went over the fence. So yeah, roll of the week. I don't know. Which one would you pick out of them lot? So yes, there we go. Now we've got a surprise car for you. There were, again, quite a few comments suggesting Evos and Mitsubishis and stuff. Now, if you've seen episode 7, the one where we do the roll-off, in the end slate, in fact, there's the link. Go watch that one if you haven't seen it. We have a roll-off between an Impreza, this one, and an Evo. The Evo 6, I believe it was. The Evo 1, and I never rolled the 22B. It kind of just went on its side and didn't really do much more. So, it is time to get a little bit of revenge. People wanted to see a Subaru roll, so this is a Subaru that's going to roll. And it is the only car ever to have survived Will It Roll without falling over, except for the tanks. But they don't count, because the game doesn't allow them to roll over. So, we're going to finish off. You people are lucky. You're going to have a fourth car today. We're going to finish off and try and roll this one. Now, in case you haven't seen the episode, here is a brief summary of what happens when you don't have any suspension upgrades. It basically, the first attempt wasn't particularly special, but this is what it does. It goes on its side and then comes down again. I although I'm not 100% sure, it's the bodywork that actually catches on the floor in this car, when you drive it, or when I drive on bonnet view, you can actually see sparks coming from like the bottom left that would imply either the side skirt or the front bumper. Something is catching on the floor that kind of stops it from rolling over, I believe. Maybe it would roll standard if you spent like an hour, a year, who knows, trying to go at that curve. But I couldn't get it, and I lost the roll off with it. So it was upgraded suspension. Again, only ride height was adjusted, so it was raised, and there we go. Properly rolled this one, and parked. Not the most spectacular roll from the Subaru, I have to say. But yes, there we go. So that's 4 cars for you today. God dear, I was feeling adventurous. They've been rolled. All Japanese cars. Now, next week, what is the theme going to be next week? Supercars. List some cars that you would like to see, supercars that you would like to see rolled. Leave them in the comment section. And then we'll have a look through. We'll pick our favourites, and they will be thrown at the wall in Sunset and see if we can get some more cars to roll. I expect that to be quite a tricky episode because supercars are very wide, very low, and very fast. So there'll be lots of crashing and stuff will fall over. But that's normal, will it roll? So yes, and an announcement. Yes, that one. My English, I'm sorry for that. If you watched our video on Thursday, we kind of ended up coming up with a new series in the middle of a race. We are going to attempt, I don't know how well this will work, to do a Roll of the Week series. So yeah, we're going to sort of feature clips from you guys. If you want to send in clips, we will put them together into a video. It'll probably only be sort of a 2 or 3 minute video. We're going to sort of do like top 5 of the week, or depends how many we get, to be honest. It'll how successful and how long it will be will depend on how many clips we get sent in. So yeah, if you want to have your clips featured, your clips put into the running, or whatever you want to call it, then you send, or in fact you can add my second Xbox Live account. The game tag will be around on the screen. It's FailRace. You can find it fairly easily. If there's still space on my friends list, I don't know how long it'll take to fill that up. If you add me on there, you can then gift me the replay directly. It would also help if you could send me a message saying at what point in that replay you roll, because if it's a 30-minute replay, I am not watching all the way through to try and find the one point you roll it, because it'll take forever. So yes, if you want to send it that way. Also, if my friends list does end up being full, can you put the replay on your storefront, and then I'll go find it. In fact, I think can you make movie clips on Forza now? So you can sort of just cut out the 20-second clip of you falling over, or maybe more if it's a really long roll. That'd be quite impressive. So yeah, if you want to do that, if people want to send me clips like that, then that'd be great. We will make a new series, and we can all have a laugh at watching people crash cars, which is kind of what this channel is about. So yes, hopefully that series will be a success. I'm not sure when it will start. I'm not sure if it will be every week. Maybe it will be monthly or bi-weekly. Who knows? It will depend. It may start next week if we get plenty of clips. We'll just see. We'll just take it from there. See how it goes. So that is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, leave comments, suggestions of what cars you would like to see rolled next week. They have to be supercars this time around. That's going to be blooming hard. So anyway, until next time, goodbye.